Right, well, hello. Welcome to episode 7 of Plebcast. We're back after a long time. It's good to be back, isn't it? It's good to be back, everyone.
It is great to be back.
It's good to be back, yeah. I felt there's been a hole in my life.
Big Plebcast-shaped hole.
Big Plebcast-shaped hole, now it's been filled again.
I'm so glad.
It's a very small life.
Yes, well, we're back. Episode 7. We're joined by me, obviously, Jimmy. We've got Louis, the sound guy. Give us a wave.
Hello. Wave sound.
Yeah, should I edit in like a wave sound?
Yeah.
Just put on the YouTube video waving.
Yeah.
Louis, wave.
Alright, we're also joined by Benja.
Hey there.
Hey, we're joined by Sam
Hello.
and Billy.
Hi.
We all know each other. We've
do.
all been on before. Good. Right, well, how's everyone been since the break?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Ah,
I guess.
cheers.
What about you?
No, I'm alright, yeah. How'd your exams go, everyone?
Go on.
Because yeah.
Yeah, don't
People
talk
who-
about exams.
Yeah. People who don't know, we had a break because it's been the Christmas break and exams, stressful times.
Mm.
Yeah. How'd your go, Louis?
They're all right, yeah. 3 though, and I don't like.
You had 3?
Yeah, 3. Yeah.
That's
Really?
heavy.
Yeah, I only had 2.
People in our year doing classics, some of them had 5.
Yeah.
Oof.
When you're doing the
Science 6.
Huh?
Science 6
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Math.
Well, someone was saying that they had like 10 deadlines or like 10 combined like exams and deadlines in classics.
That's
the
horrific.
languages. That's horrible.
Yeah.
I'd drop out
Yeah.
immediately.
I'll
Yeah.
probably be kicked out instead.
That's,
Yeah.
that's torture, surely.
Yeah. How's history?
It was alright because they only had one exam and one
Oh,
deadline.
look
Lucky
at
for some.
Yeah.
But you know, it's an actual exam, so
Mm.
Oh yeah, it's an actual degree, isn't it?
yeah.
Mhm.
No idea how they went. But when I get the marks back, then I'll tell
Yeah.
all the world on
Yeah.
Plebcast. No,
Yeah.
I won't tell all the world because then no one will hire me.
Well, yeah. Well, when we get the marks back, we'll probably all have jumped off the tie, so it might not be. It might not be. Might not be a plebcast.
Suspended.
Yeah. Due to entire cast disappearing. Right. Well, the past first 6 episodes have been like conversational topics, why classics in film. But I thought now we're gonna get more serious. We're gonna get more educational.
Yeah, yeah.
Billy has got his laptop.
Billy has got a laptop. and
Billy's got a laptop.
Can I get mine out? Because I've got
Yeah.
some Alexander notes on my laptop.
On your lap? Yeah, get it wrong.
They are A-level notes, but they are
Yeah,
Alexander notes.
it might be outdated.
A little bit.
But yeah, for the first 6 episodes, it's been more conversational, more like off script, more chill. But I thought we're gonna have to slimline, more educational.
Streamline?
Slimline. What's slimline? Is that when
Like,
you like?
like a tonic water.
Is
Like
what?
a low-calorie tonic water.
Is it really? Okay.
We're going to have to tonic up, guys.
We're gonna have to slim. We're gonna have to slim up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to streamline. So today's topic is ancient empires.
Oh, yeah.
So 4 of us have done, varying amounts of research.
In
into
the
different-
past 4 years, we've done varying
in the past 4 years, there's
Just kind of
various amount of research.
collating a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we might. So we've each picked an empire to talk about. Louis hasn't.
No, I'm going to help Sam
Yeah, cheers.
Louis is helping Sam.
because I did an exam on it the other day.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's my research.
Yeah.
So we've all picked like different empires. None of them are Roman. None of them is the Roman Empire.
Oh, really?
Because we all know about the Roman Empire. No one knows.
True.
Rome's
Does-
dull.
Rome's done.
This
Rome-
one's for
Yes.
the ones that don't get recognised.
Exactly. Yeah. We've all Billy's. I've never heard of in my entire life. And I still don't know the name of it.
So not-
It changes every time he says it. So
Yeah, we're making classics more accessible, but I'm bringing it to the masses who don't know about classics by missing out topics because we know about them.
yeah.
That's the wrong side.
No, but everyone knows about the Roman Empire. It happened. Get over it.
And now it's gone.
No, it happened. But
Every day I cry.
yeah.
I
No,
think
yeah.
most of the empires we're talking about happened. At least
I was going to say, yeah.
No, but they've been done.
Yeah,
So
it's
these are
been done to death.
these are the empires that you may not know have happened. Yours is probably
I mean,
the
you
most.
probably do know mine.
You probably do know.
you probably know
sounds.
mine as well.
Probably know.
The thing is, you probably know them, but not.
You
that's why
don't
we're
know.
here.
You're like, oh, I want to know more about that.
I reckon people know about Alexander the Great but don't know about that.
About the
Yeah.
empire and what,
Yeah.
like the Hellenistic empire
Yeah.
and the kingdoms. There we go.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. So we've spoilt Sam now. So we'll start chronologically,
That means I'll go first.
which means
Doesn't
Benji
need-
goes first. I'm doing Athenian, so
Cheers.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the order will be... Should we say what we're doing then?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pointing noises will be at the point of the podcast.
Talk
So-
about it, but without saying.
Yeah. So it'll
Guessing
go...
game.
It'll
A
go...
guessing game.
A guessing
I
game,
presume
yeah.
we also will, yeah.
Make your own podcast. We'll say it and then you fill in the blanks.
It's an interactive quiz. Right, so
Look at
Benja's doing Persian Empire.
Hmm.
I'm doing Athenian Empire. Sam is doing Alexander the Great and his empire.
Mhm.
Billy, what are you doing?
I'm doing the Rashidun Caliphate.
And his empire. that shows an extreme level of ignorance from my side.
Yeah.
I'm doing the Rashidun, his Caliphate.
Yeah. So that's the best to last
Yeah, basically.
because no one knows what it is.
Also, he's probably done more research than everyone else.
Yeah, 'cause he's got his laptop.
We're just kind of relying on previous knowledge, aren't we? That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Well, I went on a really reliable source of Wikipedia
Jimmy.
to like what's the word refresh. Refresh. It's like I'm not getting all my information. It's like, oh, I remember that
Good.
from college. Like that sounds plausible. Yeah.
I've
So
broken the format by not doing an ancient empire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
I'd
It
say
depends.
late
It depends.
antiquity.
It depends when you
It's
classify
late.
antiquity, which
when-
we have done
when-
a
what
lot
are the
of.
dates?
Yeah.
What does it start?
I mean, spoilers for later on in the podcast, but
Yeah.
632 to 661.
Well, that's antiquity.
Yeah, definitely. Some say
Yeah.
antiquity doesn't end until like the 1453, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say antiquity
Right.
doesn't end until 1066.
I say antiquity still hasn't ended.
Australia is the new the successors of the Roman Empire.
Right. Well, Benja, do you want to start off and describe the Persian Empire?
That's a broad question.
Yeah, there's
So
that.
you've got 5 hours.
It's going to be
So
a
what
long,
is the Persian Empire?
gonna be
When
a
did it
long
start?
podcast.
How did it happen?
Well, it depends who you're going with. If you go with the Persian Revolt, that's
Yeah.
550 BC
Uh-huh.
with Cyrus II
Yeah.
in Persia. And then he goes on to conquer Lydia, which
Yeah.
is where all the main Greek people live, kind of thing. So that's the first interaction with the Greek world. Then he goes on to conquer Babylon, and then that's pretty much the big empire.
Yeah.
And then he does some other,
So he takes over the Middle East, basically.
yeah, pretty much. And
Yeah.
then Cambyses, I think it is, goes and, well, Cyrus tries to go and conquer Egypt, but also gets killed by the Masketae.
Yeah.
And that's where he has,
Wow.
like,
The picture on the Brook of the Herodotus.
yeah,
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, he's bathing in blood, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
yeah. It's like he gets his throat slit and then
Mm.
drowned in his own blood.
Yeah.
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 Bad.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nasty
That's
way to
pretty
go.
Yeah.
And then Cambyses takes over Egypt, and then that's kind of the main empire.
Yeah.
There's a few bits of, it changes around a bit. Egypt doesn't like being in the empire so much. They rebel a bit.
Yeah.
Under Darius, everyone rebels a bit.
Yeah.
Then it's all one big friendly lump, and then Alexander comes along a few hundred years later,
And fucks it up.
fucks it up
Fucks
massively.
up big time. Spoilers. So what were the boat like? What was the region it took over then? Like what was the extent of it? Like when it was at its biggest.
When it was at its biggest, it went all the way from Bactria, Sogdiana, like border of India,
Yeah.
through to Egypt and down to Elephantine, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Jews had a garrison there,
Oh my god, Sam's ears are burning.
That's good later.
and then it went right up to Thrace, and
Damn.
kind
Yeah.
of during the Persian Wars, you
Yeah.
could say the people, but like, who was it? Thebes, they Medized.
Yeah.
So you could say it went that far.
Mm.
And you could
Oh,
say,
really?
actually, after Xerxes kind of fucked up Athens.
Mm.
Yeah.
But then that didn't really last that long, did it?
No.
So,
Yeah.
And
don't really count that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was a pretty fucking massive empire.
Hmm. Yeah. How long did it last? Again.
Well, if you count the rebellion, which is 550,
Mm.
that's when Cyrus starts. People think that he was, like, the Persians were ruled by the Medes, and then he kind of rebelled up, although that's not
Mm.
like completely sure. But if that counts as 550, then ended in 330-ish when
Yeah.
Alexander came along. Although some people think Alexander's like He's called like the last Achaemenid, I think.
Alexander.
Yeah.
One scholar says it. I
Oh,
can't remember who it is.
One scholar. there we go.
Oh, you said it yesterday, didn't he?
He did
Holton?
say it yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. So what makes you interested in the Empire? Because I know you're obsessed with like Assyrian, like that's beforehand.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with Persians. You're doing a dissertation on it. So what makes you interested in them?
I'm gonna say because of the fucking massive empire.
Yeah.
I have a question. Was it as big as Alexander's empire or bigger? Do you know?
It was bigger.
Was it bigger?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Briant, last of the
Yes.
There we go.
Yes. He's a very.
It's good having laptops, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wrote
Yeah.
a very big book.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
some of it last
Very
week.
big book on.
Yeah,
Big
I think
book.
it's
Very big book. Very long.
It's Cyrus to. I think it's called Cyrus to Alexander.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big famous book.
Big
It's
famous.
a lot bigger than
Yeah.
Alexander's.
It's a massive empire, which makes it quite interesting. And also, it's like there is a whole tradition of Eastern empires which goes right down to the modern day,
Yeah.
and it's quite. Even though you have the caliphates that Billy talked about later, and Islamic empires, but there's still some ingrained part of like Assyrians, Achaemenids. You can
Yeah.
find them in
Yeah.
modern day stuff. I was reading a book that compares like how Saddam Hussein tried to model himself as a epic hero from Assyrian times.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that went well.
You find that a lot, don't you? Kind of later tyrannical figures modelling themselves off
Yeah.
previous ones, like what
Yeah.
Holton was talking about yesterday.
Yeah.
Alexander.
Also, they like drawing lions, and they have their buildings are just so cool.
What, Persian buildings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have like lamassus, the massive winged bulls
Mm.
with human heads.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
They're
like,
just
are they the ones in the British Museum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
there's
they're
some
cool.
massive ones.
Well, a lot of it's been destroyed now.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
60% of the standing, like standing archaeology in Nineveh got
Yeah.
destroyed.
By ISIS.
Yeah.
So that's a fucking pain in the arse, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
Thanks, Billy. You damn caliphate.
but I mean, like, there's some positive, and then like
Yeah.
they tried to destroy all. Like Mosul is their heartland, which is Nineveh.
Yeah.
They tried to destroy it all, and the fact they only managed 60%.
Yeah.
But I know it's not good, but
That's over half.
yeah,
well, I
but
mean-
that's 40% to buy. Like they didn't do that good a job, did they? If they
No. Yeah. Have you heard that they're trying to? I read an article saying that they're trying to rebuild it as well.
Yeah.
So like,
Ancient Persia.
you're like
No, like Nineveh, they're trying to
The
rebuild.
whole of it.
the whole of it.
That's going to cause some trouble.
No, like all the stuff that ISIS destroyed, they're gonna try and rebuild.
Nice.
I mean, how? That's
fuck knows.
impossible.
They tried
Yeah.
it with the Parthenon on the Acropolis.
Yeah, true.
That's like
True.
that got blown to bits.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
now
know
that's
about that
fine.
until like last year. We
Yeah.
went to Athens
Yeah.
because we were like looking around the frieze in the museum, and there were
Yeah.
like sketches of them, but we didn't have the actual thing. I'm like, well, how do we know? And then we're like, well, yeah, one of you was like, it was blown up, wasn't it? And like,
blown up. Was it blown up by the Ottomans?
No, it was
Venetians?
blown up by the Venetians.
Oh.
The Ottomans used it as an armory, so they put all their gunpowder there, and then a Venetian bomb hit, and
Nice.
firing
Yeah.
gunpowder doesn't.
It would have still had a roof, wouldn't
Go
it?
boom, boom.
If it.
Yeah,
If
Yeah,
it
it
weren't for
survived
that.
pretty. What was
Yeah.
that like? 1400s, 1500s.
yeah, I think so.
I'll
Like,
check.
it was.
It should have still had a roof then.
It might have been
Until
like-
then.
But yeah, well, it was a
Was it-
it was a church and then a mosque.
Oh, that's 1687.
Yeah.
That's like recent memory. It's modern history.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh my god, we can't talk about
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
Right, why is it important, Persian Empire? Why is it important in history? Why is it a...
Is this the format of all of them? Just kind of like.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
sweet,
think
sweet,
about
I'll
it,
start
guys.
thinking.
Yeah, why is it important? I've got questions here.
Ooh,
I've
well,
got
I think
generic
that-
questions for all of you.
Hand rubbing noises.
Yeah. Sam
We
rubs
should
hands.
get a soundboard.
Yeah, like a proper like.
Yeah.
He's got questions which he told us in advance so that we could research.
Yeah, well I
guess
did
it
write
helps
the...
if you're in the group. doesn't it?
I did write these 10 minutes before.
Alright, fair.
Yeah, so that was sarcastic. We
Okay.
haven't, we
Yeah,
haven't
we
been
don't
told
have
these
them in
questions.
advance.
Sarcasm noises.
We were bored in the common room, so I was like, I might as well write. I might as well do some planning.
10 minutes ago. We're gonna streamline. Guys. We're gonna have a well plan.
This was well planned for months.
So
why-
better than the previous ones.
It is
Better
better.
plan.
Better plan.
quality.
It is way better plan.
Yeah.
We'll let the masses decide now.
Other than you, Sam,
Yeah.
people knew they were on a week in advance.
Yeah, well, I was a late substitution.
Yeah,
Like to recall me from loan.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So I
Chris couldn't
signed
be
a
on,
short-term loan deal with Plebcast.
Chris couldn't be on it because he's meeting Maisie Williams.
Yeah, lucky for some, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is she going to the quiz
He's,
tonight?
we're
She
not
should be.
we're not good for him anymore.
There's a Game of Thrones quiz in Bar 28 tonight.
Oh,
I booked a table, you were on it. People
Oh.
didn't tell you. Anyway, we're not going anymore.
No, I did
Oh.
tell you. I did tell you.
No, you told me.
Oh, did
I
I?
do
Oh, I told
remember-
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I booked it. Was
Yeah.
it you?
No, she's not. She won't get the quiz because she's in Durham. She's speaking at Durham.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We get it first. Take that, Durham.
Anyway, why is it important in history? Stop sidetracking us.
Sorry.
What defines the western part of
Yeah.
Europe? It is the borders of the
Europe.
whole antiquity, basically. You
Yeah.
don't have the connection between China, India, Mongolia until quite a bit later. Like Alexander's empire, he tried to push it a bit further, but it's still roughly the same borders.
Easy now. In this house, we respect and love Alexander.
But yes, it's quite defining there
Yeah.
in that sense. And also, Greece made a fucking massive deal of the Persian Wars,
Yeah.
which probably shouldn't have been.
And it was a big topic for Herodotus.
Yeah.
So like we have an ancient source survives pretty well because of the Persians, and he was
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's the thing. They didn't write as much.
they didn't write.
Like-
Yeah.
They didn't. They wrote inscriptions and.
Is there any like Persian written history as we have with the Greeks, like Herodotus, Thucydides?
There is. I don't know if there is.
There's Greeks writing about Persia
Right.
who lived in Persia,
Yeah, yeah.
like Ctesias, but it doesn't survive as much.
Right. Okay.
But like the Persian stuff is, you've got the fortification tablets, and you've got the massive inscriptions that they did.
Mm-hmm.
There's a surprising amount, but it's not the narrative history that the Greeks wrote,
Right.
because they had a more oral culture.
Right. Okay. There we go.
Even though Greece also had. an
Answers my
oral
next
culture.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did have quite a.
I read somewhere that under Cyrus the Great, because like the population of the world was so small, it's probably the empire that had the largest portion of the Earth's population under its control in its own time.
That's quite
Really?
cool.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
What about Genghis Khan?
Well, he had a lot, didn't he?
A few.
Yeah, he had a couple. But actually, his empire wasn't the greatest extent of the Mongol Empire.
Mm.
So he wouldn't. If it
Was
was,
it-
the Mongols, it wouldn't be under Genghis Khan.
Wasn't it Kublai Khan who had the greatest?
I think so. Yeah.
Or it was like his son, nephew, someone just afterwards.
But yeah, that's not ancient history.
No, it isn't. So shut the fuck up. We've probably touched a bit on this already, but what were the lasting effects of the empire after it buggered up? It kind of goes on to Sam's.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
Does kind. Well, yeah. Alexander's empire was basically.
Well, it was the Persian Empire, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we've done Sam.
They
Alright.
probably,
Sounds
they probably like the satrap system as well. That was
Mm-hmm.
an. I'm not sure if it was invented by the Achaemenids, but it was a Mede and Persian kind of invention. The way of having satraps and stuff,
Yeah.
and the word satrap itself.
Yeah.
There was a few other artistic stuff. You have like the influence on, like in Delphi, you have the weird griffin heads.
Yeah.
That's quite Persian.
Yeah.
Yeah, another one is in the similar way that Europeans sort of hark back to the Roman Empire. A lot of states in that region hark back to the Persian
Yeah,
Empire.
Mm-hmm.
like
So,
the Iranian Favazar, I think it is. It's like a slightly adapted, very similar version to the Aramazda drawing, the guy sitting on some wings.
Yeah, and they consciously use Persian or Iranian instead of Arabic as
Yeah,
a language. And also there was a Muslim empire in Iran called the Safavids who sort of hark back to the fact that they were like a Persian empire.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, although there's like the Assyrian, Neo-Assyrian, Neo-Babylonian empires before it, like over 1,000 years before it.
Yeah.
The Achaemenid Empire's like the first Persian empire,
Yeah.
and it's also it's what, well, as like classicists and Westerners, we study it because it's the first kind of Persian empire that interacted with us as a West is also very. We still got the modern definitions of East and West, which were created by the Persian Empire.
Yeah.
Like it's the Middle East.
Yeah.
That's the boundary. No.
Yeah. Right. Well, I might have to move on because
Yeah.
time is
I've talked.
Streamline.
Streamline. Right. Well, Ben just leads nicely onto mine.
Do you want me to ask you the questions for this one?
That's all right. I'll just talk.
One day I'll get my time in the sun one day.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Yeah. Mine is the Athenian Empire, and it's almost a direct result of Benja's because it happens because of the Persian Empire and the Persian Wars of
Those greedy Athenians.
Well, the Persians came over. They were like, we want Greece, and then we kind of went, nah,
Drinking.
nah, piss off. And then when the Persians were the Agrenians fought back. The Greeks were like, right, we'll form a league in case it ever happens again.
What was the league called?
The
The
Justice
league-
League.
We'll form a league of justice.
Yeah. They were called the Delian League. They were called the Delian League first because their treasury was at Delos. I think that's why.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is why.
Yeah, that is. Thank you.
It's alright, you know Wikipedia.
It was
but us.
It was founded in 478.
Delian League.
The Delian League, yeah. It was supposed to be like a league against the Persian Empire in case they ever tried again, and they were supposed to like go over and attack them more, but that
Mhm.
never really happened.
Until.
Yeah.
Links.
Foreshadowing.
Spoiler alert.
That's next week.
You have to try and link yours to Billy's summer.
Yeah, it will happen.
Yeah.
We'll find a
We'll
way.
scrape the barrel.
I can already see the bottom of it.
But something happened. Dun dun dun. 20 odd years later, in 454, the Athenians are like, right, we're going to move the treasury from Delos to Athens.
Big.
So then it basically became the Athenian Empire. They were given money or ships first to like the league, but then they ended up having to give money. So like places like Mytilene, Samos, like places on the Ionian coast, a lot of places in like Thrace. Not a lot of places. A bit of Thrace. Where?
Is that
Amphipolis, yeah.
Is that one?
What's
Like
that?
northern Greece.
Yeah.
A lot of places in northern Greece under the theme, or in the Delian League. Basically everywhere apart from like the Peloponnese, so like Sparta and Boeotia as well.
And Crete.
And Crete.
Obviously, like notably, a lot of islands and coast
Yeah.
cities.
Because the Athenians could get to them, through ships. Basically, if you had a big harbour
Mm-hmm.
and like if you were seaworthy, you're part of the Delian League, Athenian Empire. But when it moved, when the treasury moved, it became the Athenian Empire. You had to give money, and then in 450, Pericles enacted a thing where like if there was a bit of trouble, if parts of the Athenian Empire were a bit of trouble, he'd send over like colonists, so he'd replace the entire like populate or like half the population with Athenian colonists. So he was kind of like spreading the Athenian population throughout the Athenian Empire. So that was becoming more Athenian. Also changed the coinage of most of Greece, most of the Athenian Empire. So like Athenian coinage and stuff like that. There was a lot of revolts. They tried to revolt, but didn't. None of them worked. The Athenians crushed all the revolts. But then Sparta were like, and the Peloponnesian League,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't really, it was more of a league. They were like, no, we're not having any of that. So there was a Peloponnesian War in 431, and then the Athenians were winning for a while until the Sicilian expedition, where the Athenians were trying to like extend their empire. They thought, right, we can take over Sicily. That fucks up massively. They all die. Everyone dies. That's about 415, 413 BC, and then the Spartans win 404. Athenian Empire is crushed.
Athenian Empire.
Yeah, so it lasts about 70 years.
That's decent.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah, it's properly about 50 years.
Mm.
That's when it turned like 454. That's when it turned into the Athenian Empire.
Mm.
So it was more. They were less. They were like it was a big turning point because the Greeks were supposed to be like individual states,
Yeah.
and then it was the first like proper bit where like a Greek state was trying to take over and like spread their influence heavily over the Greek world.
One would say Hellenism, maybe? Early Hellenism?
Yeah.
Early
Hellenism.
shades of it, maybe?
Yeah.
Trying to spread the culture.
And
Hellenism.
yeah, so that's why I'm interested in it. Because they become just really greedy, and they just instead all
really
they
like strikes a chord with you.
it strikes it's like the Tories. No, they because when they moved the treasury to Athens, they just used the money that the people the other states are giving them to like build the Acropolis up. Like
it's a building project, isn't it?
The Pericles building project.
They built a massive Odeon as well.
Yeah, they built the Parthenon.
The Odeon.
They built the Odeon.
The first Odeon wasn't alive.
They built a cinema.
First cinema, anyway.
No, yeah.
That big thing next to the Theatre of Dionysus, the one built into the
Yeah.
slope.
The one that was really well, it was like
Yeah.
Was that the Roman one?
No, like the Greek one, the open air one.
Yeah.
If you're looking, like if you're standing on the stage, to your right would be the Odeon, and then to your left is the Roman.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah.
where the
Like
performances from the Panathenaea or another dramatic festival, they practice there.
although
Before the
I
Theatre
think-
of Dionysus.
I think the theatre next to it is also called the Odeon of something or other. But like the Periclean Odeon is like a big house.
Yeah. Is that why the Odeons now are called that?
I'd imagine so.
Wow.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Come to
Yeah,
think
it
of
does
it.
actually.
Never
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
thought
was thought about
about
that.
it. It makes a lot of sense. I made a joke about it, but actually, it's probably the reason. There you go, classics in modern day.
Yeah, but that's why I'm really interested in, because it causes the Peloponnesian War. That's one of the causes. They meddle and like they try and like spoil cultures. They just completely ruin Egina. They sent out all like during the Peloponnesian War. They just get rid of the whole Egina population, send them to the Peloponnese. Have you all heard of the Mytilene revolt?
Rings a
And the
bell.
Mytilene, you would have, Louis.
Yeah,
But the
Yeah.
viewers haven't.
Well, yeah, the viewers might know. Well, basically,
Viewers.
the view, the listeners,
If you're watching this
the
on YouTube.
audience, that one person.
Sean.
Yeah, that one. When Mytilene revolted, when the Athenians crushed them,
Yeah.
they first enacted a law. What is it?
They debated it in the assembly.
They debated in the assembly whether or not to kill the entire male population,
Yeah.
and they eventually agreed to it. And then they sent out like a ship to go and do it, and then they had another debate where they were like, "Oh crap, no, that's a shit idea." So they had to now send another ship out to try and intervene.
Yeah, and they were like, they promised those rowers, like, if
Yeah.
they got there, they got, I don't know, maybe some of them before us, they got citizenship or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they had to row twice as fast to
Yeah.
catch up. with,
Yeah.
like,
Oh
rowers.
yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
When did we do that? Did we do that last year?
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
we
all
just did it in Vista. As
Oh,
well.
did you?
Yeah, but like
Funny.
the story I was told in college is that they were literally about to read out the thing.
Yeah.
Like they had the scroll open, and they were like, "This is what we're gonna do."
Mhm.
And the guys have landed at the harbour and were like, "No, stop!" So yeah, and then the Sicilian expedition was an absolute total failure because it was Alcibiades or Alcibiades, however you say it. He was like, "Right, we'll get Sicily, we'll get Carthage. The empire's gonna be massive." And then they went out, and then he like, as soon as they started to sail out to Sicily, he jumped ship. Was like, "Nah, fuck this." He pissed off, and then it was a complete failure. So that kind of just destroyed everything. They had barely any soldiers to fight Sparta. All their good generals died, just being beheaded in Sicily.
No damn.
Nicias.
Got worked to death in the mines.
Yeah.
The mines in Sicily.
Yeah.
They were like the worst out
Like,
of the worst.
Well, one of their best generals, I think his name was Demosthenes. It's not the orator. He was like one of their best generals. I think it was. You have to fact check that. But yes, please. But I think like he was a really good general, and he went out, and he survived all these big battles. As soon as he got there on a little skirmish, he got killed immediately.
Joking.
Yeah.
What we're looking at Demosthenes? Not the
Not
other
the
guy,
orator. It's the guy who Cleon takes over, and then he was Cleon's one of the first people to actually capture Spartans.
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Sunscreen.
Yeah. Because Demosthenes is about because they were on Ego Spotted Mart or whatever it's called, and Cleon was like, "Oh yeah, I could do that." So Demosthenes was like, "All right,
And
do it." Yeah.
General.
Yeah. Does he die in the skirmish?
Oh.
But it might be a different one.
Yeah.
Excuse me while we
Ambushed
read.
by the Syracusans and forced to surrender, Nicias soon captured, both executed, despite the orders of
Oh, I'm
Gildas,
thinking of someone else then.
who had hoped Demosthenes and Nicias could be brought back to Sparta. as
No, I think
prisoners.
I'm thinking of the other one, the third one.
That sounds like the guy you're talking about.
Yeah. No, he was killed in a skirmish. Like he literally,
Oh.
it was like he was one of the only ones who got killed in battle.
Hell.
I can't remember the third name. But anyway, yeah, that's the Athenian Empire.
Nice.
It's important because, like I said, Peloponnesian War. That's what as Thucydides says, greatest war in history.
Thucydides.
And I still think it's the greatest war in history.
Why is that?
'Cause it's just really interesting. It's really like it's really it's really in depth. It's one of the earliest wars we have an in-depth knowledge of.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's good conflict. It's nice.
Nice.
Nice story in it.
Nice story.
Yeah. And then the lasting effects were there were a lot more leagues after it. So like
The Thebans had them, didn't they?
Thebans had it, and like Sparta, after they defeated the Athenians, they kind of became a bit more greedy because of all the treasure, because of all the Athenian, all the spoils that they got. Spartans wanted a piece of that. Then that destroyed their empire, and then the Thebans came in, and then destroyed their tiny little empire.
Philip II came along and fucked them up.
Yeah, and then leading nicely on. Do you want to do yours now?
Yeah, do you want to give me some prompts?
Is everyone okay?
Everyone okay to move on?
Is everyone okay to move
Feels like
on?
a lecture.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Less of a podcast, more of a lecture.
Did a good job on the Athenian Empire? I
I
think.
think that was quite interesting. Well done, Jimmy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Clapping noises.
Yeah. That's me clapping myself. Right, so what are you doing to your song?
Well, I'm doing mine, Jimmy, on Alexander the Great and his
Ooh, tell
conquest
me
of
about it.
Persia. Oh, what do you want to know?
Well, no, everything.
Right. Well, it starts when he invades
What
Asia.
time is it?
Oh Christ!
Fucking
Yeah, how
hell.
long have we got?
Oh,
We go for 45 minutes.
Right, just speak
I
quickly.
mean, no. Well, no. We only started about 10 past 12 late. Like
Yeah,
quarter past.
We've got about 10 minutes.
We've got about 10 minutes.
You have a streamline, Sam.
Do we actually have a slot now?
Yeah.
I think so. We got
Just for today, aren't we?
Till 2.
Well, let's just keep going. Let's see how we go.
See if we
Yeah.
get shuts out.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Oh, I'm under a lot of pressure now. Bloody hell. Started in, 334 when he first invaded Asia Minor into...
Where was he from?
he was from Macedon.
Macedon.
Alexander of
yeah.
Macedon. Yeah. His father was Philip II of
Yeah.
Macedon. You know, famously kind of brought Macedon from kind of a nation of like farmers to the forefront of military power in Greece in the
Yeah.
late 5th, early 4th century. No, that's wrong.
Early.
It's
Late.
like 346 was like when it
Right, there we go.
That's
Yeah, it's middle of the 4th
fourth
century. Middle of the 4th
Yeah.
century. Yeah, and he so I think the main reason for his conquering of Persia was supposedly to get revenge on the Persian wars.
Yeah. Quote marks.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Because when it gets past like the name of the battles escaped me.
Yeah.
Not Chaeronea. No, that was in Greece, wasn't it?
What are you talking
No.
about against Darius?
No, the last battle they fight. It's like
Gina.
I didn't very
This-
good.
this is going well, isn't
Who's
it?
the battle between?
Between after he's killed Darius or just before he kills Darius.
Ipsos.
Gaugamela.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The very same.
Yeah.
Cheers, Louis.
That's right.
Yeah, after
Good, that
after Gaugamela, he kind of turns more into just like, I want to go there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's like, yeah. But just conquered most of Persia, didn't he? Kind of went from Asia Minor, liberated the Greek cities of Asia Minor, supposedly. And then kind of went...
Mark noises.
Air quotes. And then went down into Egypt in the 330s, you know, getting down Battle of
Yeah.
Issus, and then went further down to Egypt, went to Siwa, didn't he? The oracle where he's proclaimed son of God,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Supposedly.
A lot of supposedly.
He's the son of Zeus now.
People keep
instead
saying
of
quite a lot
Philip.
of noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, proclaimed the son of a god. He was playing Pharaoh of Egypt as well.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
one of the
he
main themes of his reign and conquer was kind of not assimilating, but kind of being accepting of the current state of government and worship, and just kind of letting them go as they were. Because, for example,
Kind of like the Achaemenids.
kind of like the Achaemenids. Yeah, well, he
Yeah.
kind of because he left a lot of the satraps in place, just because as long as he got them on side, they knew the land better than anybody, better than Macedonians did. So just kind of like pay some taxes, but like
Yeah. Is that why
Keep it.
they call him the last Achaemenid?
I've not read Brion's book,
Kind
to
of.
be honest.
Kind of, and also like he just kind of a mixture of he just continues to status quo and
Yeah.
the empire's his own empire.
Yeah.
Like he keeps it as one empire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then it all fucks up.
Also, he starts acting a bit Persian, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Quite,
he
yeah,
does.
later in his
Yeah,
reign.
he
There's a
dresses,
whole-
doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if you realise it, or there's a very long word that was used when it was oh god, give us a minute. Give us a minute. Is
What should we talk about while Sam does that?
everyone's just kind of, I've lost the room really.
Yeah.
It's
Like, do you know the word?
Persianizing.
Persianizing.
In want of a more intellectual word, you
Yeah.
kind of, you know, not always Medializes, but like Orientalism, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the exact word I'm thinking of. Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of later on in the reign when he got deeper into the Persian Empire. He just started kind of adopting Persian dress, Persian customs, the whole, what's it called? Proskynesis. When he's like, it's like a greeting thing.
What's
that
the
you
action you just
Well,
did?
that's what proskynesis is. It's kind of like kneeling down
Describe what
and
you
kissing
just
your hand.
did.
Kissing hand noises.
Kissing hand noise.
Yeah, the proskynesis.
And sort of prostrating yourself.
Yeah.
before-
Yeah, there's a lot of like Persian inscriptions and depictions of the proskynesis, which is like
Yeah.
men in like royal dress, kind of like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a picture and tweet it?
Shall I do a video? Hang on. Right,
But yeah,
so
like,
what you're doing
that
now.
was a normal thing for Persians.
Yeah, exactly. Normal thing for Persians, but because his men were very like,
Greeks, it was a bit.
they were like, you got us near nah.
Yeah, and he took Persian wives, and he
Took
made
Persian
all of
wives.
his officers take Persian
Yeah,
wives.
there was the marriages at.
Wasn't it Babylon?
Nah, the marriages weren't in Babylon. They were quite far east in the marriages. Anyway, there was like the. Huh?
Didn't they go back? Like, wasn't it on his way back?
What, the marriages?
Yeah, the marriages.
I'm not quite sure if they were on the way back, but it was definitely kind of like when they were, far deep. There was like kind of mass marriages of him. He took more Persian wives. Loads of his top officers took Persian wives.
Yeah.
And kind of like,
70 odd, wasn't
it
it?
was quite a few, yeah. But then, just kind of this increased Orientalism. Everyone was like, done with that. But yeah, kind of after he kind of killed Darius, the main aim, quite more noises,
Yeah.
of kind of revenge against the Persians sort of kind of went out the window a little bit and just kept expanding and expanding, tried to go more eastwards when no Greek had gone before, basically. So he got to like India and the Indus, because that's as far as they knew. They thought that was basically the end of it. And then I think they saw the Ganges, didn't they? They kind of got to the Ganges and they were like,
Defeated Porus.
Yeah, defeated Porus.
Hydaspes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and
then they wanted to
stopped
go
'cause
further.
His troops were like.
Yeah,
"This
because
is
there was two mutinies, wasn't there? There was one. There was two mutinies
And then they
basically.
just sort of worked their way down and then along the southern coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down through was that through the Sogdian? Not Sogdian. What's the word I'm thinking of?
It was some form of desert.
Gadrosian.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
I've still got some knowledge.
Yeah.
stored up from second year. After conquering pretty much all of the Persian Empire and establishing a lot of cities, notably Alexandria in Egypt,
Yeah.
which became the centre of Hellenistic learning for hundreds of years, deep into the
Deep
into kind of like the first century BC.
into the Roman.
Pretty much, it was kind of still significant. Not as much, but the roads took over a little bit, didn't it? But it was still up there as kind of centre of learning. I thought you were going to say something there, Benja.
No.
Okay, but yeah.
That was just great.
But yeah, after his conquered the empire, his men wanted to go back. Died rather horribly in Babylon, didn't
Went
he?
on
In
the
323. Went on a big sesh,
Went on a big
and then had a hangover to kill all hangovers.
Literally.
You reading about it?
The thing the other day.
Yeah,
was
yeah,
about
yeah.
Had a genetic disease.
Yeah. So there's a new theory. I'm going to find the actual name of the
He
disease.
wasn't actually dead for like 6 days, whilst everyone thought he was dead because they measured it on breathing.
Yeah.
But his breathing was so weak because of this genetic thing that he had that he would have just been like praised as a god by everyone, and he still would have been alive. And, like,
Yeah, because that's the
it
thing,
was
like, because
happening, but like in a coma.
there's accounts of his
Yeah.
death when he didn't start to show signs of like decay for it's like 6-7 days after he
Yeah.
died, and here we go. Neurological disorder, which took his life, left him paralysed for 6 days while staff prepared his body for burial. So people think he was still kind of pretty much compass mentis, like all there,
Yeah.
but he just kind of lost all functions
He
of
was
his
just a
body.
vegetable.
To put it, I guess fairly bluntly, yeah.
Yeah.
He was just, he just didn't really have any functions. He was just, probably brought on by
interesting
the
that,
excessive
isn't it?
drinking and warring, but
Yeah.
It is an interesting article.
it is very
And
interesting.
we'll link it in the YouTube description.
Yeah, go on. I'll send this
Yeah,
article to you.
yeah.
It's a Daily Mail. I'll find a better
That's a
one.
good idea,
Daily Mail
actually,
article. The
Yeah.
Times. There we go. I'll send you a Times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
So what? I'll skip a few questions.
skip a few questions. We don't have
What were the
long.
lasting effects, and are there any impacts on modern empires?
The lasting effects were sort of the Hellenistic kingdoms and go on, Louis.
Well, I mean, it was the initial effects were just chaos because no one could control such a big empire. There was all these kingdoms with Babylon, Thrace,
Egypt.
Egypt and whatever with
Yeah.
Ptolemy and Lysimachus and whatever.
What's happening?
Billy's.
Billy's farted.
Fart noise.
I could smell something. I look over Billy, just
Yeah.
kind of wafting it.
Wafting.
Wafting.
I'll try and put it. Anyway.
The lasting effect, I don't really know what the lasting effects were. It was just more that it.
Lasting effects is,
There's Hellenism.
and
Yeah.
also the
Yeah.
West now sees itself as better than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
And
Yeah.
He had a massive impact. Impact.
Massive impact.
A massive impact on the Romans as well.
Yeah, well, a lot of Roman generals tried to model themselves after him,
Pompey.
especially
Yeah.
Pompey Caesar, or Pompey the Great,
Pompey
didn't
the
he?
Great, yeah.
Caesar famously looked at his life at 32 when Alexander died, just kind of like, no, I'm not done as much as him. And then Augustus famously went to Alexandria to see his tombs and kind of adorn the corpse and everything.
What
and
is it,
then
the Prima Porta?
Prima Porta
Prima Porta looks like...
looks like some depictions of Alexander on
Ah,
coins.
big.
Prima Porta's a big statue of Augustus found
can
in the
also
house of his wife.
smell that fart as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nasty. Billy absolutely kills in here.
Yeah, end it now.
The lasting effects is kind of hard to sum up in a few minutes at the end of a podcast, but
Yeah,
it's
it is.
just
We
used
might
to
have-
the entire
we might-
Hellenistic kingdoms and the wars of the.
We might have
Kings.
to do a whole podcast on Alexander.
I think it probably wouldn't go amiss,
Yeah.
especially with
So
two
tune
of
in.
us are doing a module this
Maybe
year.
we'll have a
You've just done
guest
one.
in for that electric.
Yeah, we could get Holt in it.
Yeah, we could
Mm.
get Holt in for that.
Ooh.
That'd be a good one.
Oh, I'm writing it down.
Write it down. No, get Dr. John Holton.
Right, so are we okay on Alexander?
I mean, yeah, obviously there's an infinite amount to say about Alexander. He's like the
There's
most
so
studied
much,
figure
yeah.
in history, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's hard to kind of sum it up quite briefly, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm fairly happy you covered the main bases, just 'cause,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He done gone did some stuff.
precisely
He did some shit.
in a very short space of time,
Yeah.
and that was great.
Yeah.
It
Now,
was generally considered great.
last but not least,
Last but not least,
Billy.
what are the lasting effects of Alexander's empire, you ask?
What are the lasting effects of Alexander's empire? Really?
Well, I'll tell you. I'm doing the
That was
Rashidun Caliphate,
smooth.
who, taking over from the empire of the Prophet Muhammad, swept out of Arabia. They conquered Egypt, Syria, bottom half of Turkey. They stretched from the border of modern-day Tunisia to just into Pakistan. Up in
Really?
the north, they started taking over the Caucasus.
Yeah.
In the south, they had the entire Arabian Peninsula. In total, their empires stretched over 6.4 million square kilometres,
Big,
which
And
is,
big.
for reference, about 2 times the size of India.
big.
Bloody
Yeah.
hell.
I think that's bigger than is that bigger than the Achaemenids?
No,
No, it's not. Oh, they had
they had like
5
8 million.
Yeah, they had 5.8 million miles square.
Yeah. So today it would be the 7th largest country in the world, behind Australia as the 6th.
Bloody hell.
They only had a population of 21.5 million, but today
Yeah.
the area that it encompasses would have a population of over 330 million. So it would be the 3rd most populated country in the world,
Jesus
behind
Christ.
India and China.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the main language of the empire was Greek.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Just because, obviously, they took over a lot of Byzantine lands,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
and the actual population of Arabia, the Arabic-speaking population of the empire, was very small.
Mm.
So even though the official language was Arabic, and all of the administration and generals would have spoken Arabic, most of the people would have spoken Greek or Aramaic/Syriac.
Yeah.
There would have been a few Latin speakers. I think a lot of people have a conception of the sort of Islamic empires as giant monolithic. They have one culture and it's Islamic, and they have one language and it's Arabic.
Yeah.
But actually, especially the early ones, the Umayyads and the Rashidun Caliphate, were extremely multicultural.
Mm.
So just in the sort of language section for this on the most reliable source, Wikipedia,
See a theme emerging here.
it lists Aramaic, Armenian, Baloch, Berber, Coptic, Georgian, Greek, Middle Persian, Kurdish, Volga Latin, Pankrit, Semitic languages, and Iranian languages. Because obviously, even under the Zoroastrian Persians
Mm.
and the Greek Byzantines,
Yeah.
they were also incredibly multicultural empires as well. In terms of like structure, it was very tribal. Like they just sort of they used the administration that already existed in the lands that they conquered,
Yeah.
and then they would report to a general, and he would be tied to the like center of the empire by like tribal ties.
Yeah.
It's called the Rashidun Caliphate, which Basically describes as something like rightful caliphate or
Yeah.
just caliphate, because it was seen as the four like most legitimate successors. 'Cause it only lasted from 632 to 661, so they only had time to fit like 4 caliphs in there.
Yeah.
But it ended with Caliph Hassan ibn Ali, who was the son of a great grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. He was the grandson of the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah.
So he was like the last sort of family member of the Prophet Muhammad to hold power over the entire Islamic world
Oh.
before he abdicated.
Yeah.
And the Umayyad Caliphate took over. And a lot of the time that's seen as, especially by the Shia Islam, as like a dark period for Islam, because they were just like political leaders
Yeah.
and not all related to the Caliph.
Oh,
Whereas
okay.
even like the Abbasids who took over from the Umayyads had a basic link, like a titular claim to be part of the Prophet's family.
Yeah.
So yeah, they swooped out of Arabia on their like light horses, and they slapped the Byzantine Empire in the face and took Egypt and Syria.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they also slapped the Sassanid Empire in the face
Oh yeah.
and took over large parts of Iran, and completely destroyed the Sassanid Empire. So they took
Really?
on, yeah, they took on
Fun.
the 2 biggest empires at their time, completely annihilated one, and basically started the process of decline for the other.
Bloody hell. It's important then.
Very important. Yeah.
Very important.
And obviously, they're very important in terms of their legacy, because Islam's now the world's fastest growing religion.
Yeah.
It's the second largest, if you
Yeah.
include like all of the sects of Christianity as one religion. Islam's the second largest. And basically this is what started it off.
Really?
Yeah.
So without them, would it not be as big?
Well, it's very likely. It depends on... A lot of people see it as a sort of inevitability that because the Arabian tribes were united under such a strong ideal that Islam probably would have spread quite quickly anyway.
Yeah.
But it was under the guidance of the Rashidun Caliphate that it really sort of ballooned. So there is a chance that it could have either like fizzled out or just not grown nearly as quickly or become nearly as big if it
Yeah.
hadn't been for these happy chappies.
Oh.
Yeah, you could see Northern Africa as more Western.
Bloody hell.
Like that would be. Now it's quite.
Is that why? Yeah, because Africa is quite Muslim now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially the North African coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Africa is majority Christian still.
But that's colonialism.
I was gonna say, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I sort of think
That's
it's
not
like
their own fruit.
African people in Africa who are Christians like peak like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like that's the interior and like southern Africa, but the whole North African coast, you know, like Tunisia, Libya, they're
Morocco.
all
Egypt as well.
Egypt, they're all Islamic because of the Rashidun Caliphate and the Umayyads who came after them,
Yeah.
who went from Tunisia, and then their empire was even bigger. I'll find out how big it was for you, because they got all the way, they conquered like almost the whole of Spain, they got into southern France.
Really?
They took over, yeah.
Fucking
They
hell.
took over Pakistan,
Yeah.
parts of India like Afghanistan.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Right.
Mm.
You basically answered all my questions.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
That was really
Thank you,
interesting.
Billy.
That was
I
like
didn't know about
that was the most research.
Yeah.
There was a lot of information.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fair play.
How lucky are we
Absolutely.
to have
are.
Billy?
I know.
11 million square kilometres the Umayyads.
Bloody hell.
Big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Yes.
send you that article, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'll include it in the description.
Sweet.
Yeah. So I think all of our empires show that empires are important.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really disputed,
No.
but
Yeah.
it's just kind of showing why.
It's showing why.
Yeah.
I think all our there's varying different empires. One
Yeah.
that lasts tiny, like mine and Billy's, tiny amount,
Christ.
and ones that have a long-lasting effect, and one that just lasts for a long time, like yours, Benji.
Yeah, it was only a few hundred years.
Yeah. Or there's the Roman Empire that lasts
We-
about 1,000 years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'd
but
literally
who
need a whole
cares?
podcast for the Roman Empire, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah, nah, we
not
can't
worth
do
it.
it.
Not worth
Honestly,
it.
cares though.
We could do though.
We could do,
a whole
yeah.
podcast on
We
the
could
Roman
do,
Empire.
yeah.
Get Dom Miller.
Get Don Miller on. Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah,
Very interesting.
very interesting. Yeah,
Right.
varying degrees of empires as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's the most.
Actually, one thing I forgot to mention. I know I went on for a long time, but what do you think the main religion? Not you, because you can see my notes. Rashidun Caliphate was.
The main religion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Semitic.
Muslim.
Christian. Yeah.
Bada
Or
bing.
possibly Zoroastrian. They're
Bada boom.
similar
Bada
populations.
What was it, Sam? What did you think?
Just because of how much they took over of like Christian Zoroastrian populations, and until like it took another couple of 100 years for like the Islamic empires to really start integrating the populations that they took over into their religion.
Yeah.
Do you know who started like main spread of Zoroastrianism? Who was the main guy behind its starting?
Tell us.
Xerxes.
Really?
Yeah, because like the idea of you had the kind of the tenets of Zoroastrianism before him in Darius and some people argue a bit earlier, but supposedly Xerxes was the first person to go, yeah, everyone has to be Zoroastrianism and worship Aramazda.
Yeah.
There is one religion
There
that
is
has
one.
lasted throughout all of these empires.
Yeah. The Jews.
We've done well.
Well, yeah,
They got fucked over.
I understand,
quite a
Sam.
lot.
You want to have a bit of a.
If-
You've got something to talk
I've got
about.
something, there's something on my chest. If anybody follows me on Twitter, which you should,
Yeah.
I've already tweeted about this. I was in the library yesterday with Jimmy, and it was very quiet in the old post-exam productivity slump.
Yeah. Oh,
So I
yeah.
could kind of hear everything, what everyone was saying, talking quietly or not. So found myself accidentally eavesdropping this table, and it was just two guys and a girl just chatting shit. You know, as friends do.
Yeah.
Talking about history. They might have been classicists. I'm sure I heard them mention things to do with our course.
Mm.
And then one of them said, he says, oh, if you look at the past 3,000 years of human history, there's one constant. Everybody hates the Jews. And I was thinking to myself, well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of true. And then he says, maybe they're doing something wrong. Exactly.
That's
we laugh.
quite bad.
We laugh because we think, how can
That-
people say that? Not because like, you know.
Not laugh because it's true. Laugh because of how
That's because
ignorant
like,
it
wow,
is.
that's horrific. He said that the day after Holocaust Memorial Day.
Jeez.
It's just, yeah,
That's quite a bad.
I just wanted to draw attention to it.
Yeah.
You know, as somebody who's lived quite a fairly privileged life, you know, I've done fairly well, never really felt kind of unsafe. Still don't, but when you kind of hear things like that and kind of see it firsthand, you kind of think, oh, damn, maybe, you know. I'm sure he didn't say it because he's an anti-Semite. I'm sure he said, you know, he jokes. He was just joking among friends.
Yeah.
But it was a bad joke in bad taste, made at a bad time, in the presence of somebody who's Jewish.
Yeah.
He didn't know, but like, you
It's
don't.
also, if he is a historian,
Yeah, exactly.
it's also wrong.
Exactly, exactly. If he's talking about, you know, if he had stopped after he said everybody hates the Jews and then looked that up and realised it's because of 2,500 years of just
And also,
rampant
everyone
anti-Semitism.
didn't hate the Jews.
Yeah.
The Achaemenids were quite happy with Jews.
Exactly. Alexander as well was very
Yeah.
respectful. He sacrificed in the temple. Alexander. So it was
Cyrus
a lot.
supposedly helped them rebuild their
Yeah, because it was destroyed by the
Jerusalem.
Babylonians
Yeah.
in like
Yeah.
580s BC. So
I
yeah,
also get the feeling that they're about as hated as every other religious minority, but they've actually survived
exactly.
to tell the story of that persecution.
Yeah, exactly. It's more important now than ever. As I say, like 2 days after Holocaust Memorial Day, commemorating the death of 6 million Jews in living memory for still quite a few people.
For a fair amount of
And then there's
yeah.
people making jokes like that.
Yeah.
And it, you know, as I say, it's probably, you know, nothing more than a joke, but you just can't make those jokes because it's jokes like that and rhetoric like that which kind of leads to the perpetuation of these stupid stereotypes.
Exactly. Yeah.
And kind of keeps anti-Semitism alive.
Mm.
So I just wanted to have a bit of a rant.
Well, it shows that you have to, the importance of the knowledge of classics.
Mm.
You get to realise how,
Yeah.
you get to know the truth.
Yeah, it's just important to study history, especially like the dark times of history. It's important.
Exactly,
It's important to know it because so I don't know who it was who said it. Like those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. I think it's been said. I think it's been ascribed to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But something in that vein. And I get the impression that obviously he didn't know it was Holocaust Memorial Day 2 days ago. He didn't know who he was about. But you can't be making remarks like that.
You can't
in a
say,
university
oh,
strike.
maybe they're doing something wrong. If
That's-
you don't,
how does
if
he
you
want-
don't know.
How does he
if
want
you
us to act? What's he expecting? Sorry,
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's
I just wanted to
ignorance.
draw some attention to that.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
Well, no worries. Yeah. Well, it's important,
It's
isn't
a
it?
safe space here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
Anyway, I think we've gone over again.
No, I think we've been bang on an hour basically.
Bang on.
We started a bit late.
Yeah. But
Smashing.
no, I think it's been a
Successful. The
helpful,
most intellectually stimulating one.
Yeah.
One could say.
yeah. I think when most of them are going to go along these lines, where people come in and with like a topic to talk, like not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
topic and then something to talk about.
Still a bit of like shit chatting.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
us,
yeah.
isn't it?
Do we have any announcements? Society announcements? Do you know when the golf
If
ball's going to be?
I think it. Oh, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but
Not
7th
of
I
Feb.
want to say 7th of Feb.
if you haven't booked your flights for Naples, if you're going to Naples
Book
in
your
Easter,
fucking flight.
please book the flights.
Yeah, we are setting up a meeting to help anyone
Yeah.
who is struggling, aren't we? But I'm not sure when it is. It's
Yeah.
TBA.
And has everyone
also-
paid? Has everyone paid you for the postal yet?
I haven't checked since I sent out the last
Oh, okay.
email, so
I have.
just leave that to
Yeah. Oh, I have as well.
me.
I don't
also-
know if I have.
Yeah, neither actually. I paid the deposit. Is that what?
Oh, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I paid that. Yeah.
At some point in the near future, early February, we're setting up the Ghoul Crawl, which
Yeah.
is what it says on the tin, a bar crawl where you're dressed as a ghoul. So keep an eye out for that announcement on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sound.
Right. Thank you. Right. Well, I think we can end now then.
Signing off. Waving
Right, yeah.
noises.
Waving noises. All right. Bye bye, guys. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.